Hello everybody, welcome to My Hero Academia, chapter number 355 review. This chapter is titled Extras. Now last chapter, chapter 354, Oopsie Daisy, was a really good chapter, or a really promising chapter, I could say. We had the reveal of, the all-for-one battle is next, and Endeavor and Hawks, you start fighting him. Okay. And Hawks, you're bravely injured. We're all injured. But you know who's not injured? Tokoyami and Jiro, who showed up all of a sudden. So, yeah, it's really promising, and I'm really excited for this chapter. So let's get into the review itself. So first off, we start off with Endeavor landing on the ground after last chapter. He's just thinking, Shoto, are you hanging in there? Shota. Toya. Oh, Toya, I hope you're both. And he's just laying on the ground, and he gets up and he's like, what's the matter with me? What am I doing? Is my anger at all for one misplaced? I brought all of this upon myself. This fight, this wound, everything. As we see Endeavor just collapse back to the ground. And now we're back up in the sky where, the whole fight is going on. Jiro, Tokoyami, and Hawks versus All For One. And Hawks is thinking, he just barely managed to dodge this and his lungs are safe. I could tell from the sound of breathing, which my feathers picked up on. He's still alive and kicking. We go forward with that assumption. And he's thinking, of course, about Endeavor here, who got a nasty wound last time. But he says, Tsukiyomi, and he's like, enough, Hawks, you've got no place in this fight, is that it? I was sent to this location as additional support in the event of a stalemate between the top powers. Isn't that right? And Hawks is like, true, but that was the thinking that we'd have Endeavor around. He'll slaughter you. But he's also thinking, am I really that pathetic? And Hawks says, help me out again, hero? And Tokoyami's like, of course. And All For One is up there, rearing up another one of his quirks, and he's like, I can't be frittering away my time here. Not when Tomura, when my other self could be in danger. And he's thinking, that did not finish off Endeavor. As long as he still breathes, he will stand back up. Which means that during this phase, these heroes' goals will be buying time until he's on his feet. Arranged by this foul duo, what a nuisance. The weakest link in their chain at this point would be here. As he goes to attack Jiro, but Jiro jumps off of Tokoyami and lands back on him. And then he looks around, or All For One does, and he says, Hawks. And Hawks comes from behind and hits his helmet. And he's like, I'm not letting those kids die. Fly however you need to, Tsukiyomi. I'll back you up. And Tokoyami's like, you okay, Jiro? And he says, aim for his mask via sound waves, and we win. And Jiro's like, yeah, I showed up today ready for anything, or so I thought. I couldn't even see that coming. Even my response to that mouse was delayed. Every hair standing on end now. Midoriya, Aoyama, you're telling me this threat was looming over you all along? And as she's thinking this, All For One just looks and says, oh, she's trembling. Poor girl. As he starts to make this huge, this amalgamation of quirks all come together. It's got a nose, which is weird, but it's this massive thing. And All For One says, having shown up to this just like another lesson at school, like a deluded extra, as he fires what essentially seems to be a cannon shot out from this, and it goes, and it almost skewers Hawks, as All For One's like, try this, Hawks, too much sheer volume for you to possibly cope with given your limited feathers. You've been reduced to such an ordinary schlub. And All For One goes, you children just happen to be haired with these big shots, yet you imagine yourself special somehow, worthy of facing the Demon Lord himself. as we get a look at Jiro, and Hawks obviously just got skewered. Hawks got majorly injured, but Jiro got the worst injury here. One of her ears, which in tow one of her headphone jacks, is completely gone. It's not even on her face anymore, and yeah, that's half of her quirk gone pretty much. She's missing an ear at this point. But Jiro says, you want to talk about being scared or strong or weak or special? Well, I don't give a crap. You hear me? Screw all of that. My problem is that you're the one who made my pals cry. As we get a really awesome panel on page 10 of this chapter with Jiro just saying all of this, and her ear is gone. It's gone and not coming back. I don't think it can. But she uses, with her one ear, she uses heartbeat surround, legato, as all for one is being trapped in this. He's like motives, words, deeds, abilities. All I'm seeing here is the stuff of weaklings. It's not nearly good enough. Your power is so very underwhelming. As we go into All for One's inner world and all of the spirits into quirks that he has are all pulling him back, and he's of course is in this really nice suit in his inner world, and these quirks are just holding him back, and he's like, the quirks I've stolen in the past, their very wills, impossible. Even New Order didn't manage this. They were spurred on by the weakness of such pushovers, and in this moment, they're just taken out on the inside. He's like, how did this happen? And he's just getting pulled down, and Jiro yells for Hawks on the outside, and Hawks is thinking the first hit, then 2, then 3. Every time I hit the same exact spot to keep that crack growing. And he's referring to All for One's helmet because, as he says, if he can break his life support system, he will be going down. And the last thing is Hawks using sound wave vibration enhanced flight feather blade. And he thinks, enough cracks bring any dam down, as he goes through and he hits All for One's helmet and shatters it open once for all. And that's this chapter. It's another very short one. Most of the chapters here have been all 15 pages. Now, of course, we have some delays. Chapters aren't coming out every week. We've had a few delays, like one chapter, break, one chapter, and another break. But that's fine, of course. It's just really cool in the end of this idea of they're all coming to fight, and Jiro gets massive damage with her ear totally blasted off. And then you can tell that Hawks is not in a good state either. He's got blood all over him. But All for One's mask is broken, so what's going to happen now? What's up with all of his quirks? What's going on with that? So it's just a really interesting thing. And it's like, Jiro did something that New Order couldn't do? What? Is that main character plot armor, or what's going on there? But overall, it's just a really cool chapter. And yeah, All for One can't be down yet, but he's sort of down. What's going to happen next chapter? That's all I got to say. This is Glowplasma231 out.